The breakfast you ate this morning is destroying your joints right now, and you probably don't even know it, because it's a breakfast everyone thinks is healthy, a breakfast your doctor probably recommended, a breakfast that's in every nutrition book. But every time you eat it, you're lighting an inflammatory fire in your body that lasts for hours. Hello, I'm Dr. Akio Matsumoto. I've been practicing medicine for over 40 years, and there's something I discovered that most doctors don't tell their patients. There are three breakfasts that almost every older adult eats each morning. Three breakfasts that look perfect on paper: low fat, high fiber, heart healthy. But for people over 60, these breakfasts are silent poison. A few years ago, I started noticing something, a pattern I couldn't ignore. Patients with joint pain, morning stiffness, chronic fatigue, all of them were taking their medications. All of them exercised. All of them ate healthy. But nothing improved. In fact, they got worse month after month. So I started asking them something specific. What did you eat this morning before coming here? And there it was, the pattern. Almost all of them, nearly 90% of my patients with chronic inflammation, were eating one of three breakfasts, breakfasts that most doctors recommend, breakfasts that are in all the nutrition books, breakfasts that sound healthy. But every time they ate them, they were igniting an inflammatory fire in their body that lasted all day. And the worst part is that nobody had told them, not their doctors, not nutritionists, nobody. Because on paper, these breakfasts look perfect, low in fat, high in fiber, good for the heart. But for people over 60 with systems that process food differently, these breakfasts are like pouring gasoline on a fire. 6 months ago, one of my patients, Mr. Tanaka, 68 years old, came into my office barely able to walk. His knees were so inflamed he couldn't climb stairs. His wife had to bring him because he couldn't drive. He told me, "Doctor, I've tried everything. Medications, therapies, diets. Nothing works. I think my body is just giving up." I asked him one question. "What did you have for breakfast today?" "Oatmeal with raisins and orange juice," he answered. "Same as always." "It's healthy, right?" I told him. "Tanaka-san, that breakfast is destroying your joints." He was shocked. His wife was too. And when I explained why, when I showed him exactly what was happening in his body every time he ate that, everything made sense to him. I asked him to change just one thing, his breakfast. Nothing else. Same medications, same routine. Just a different breakfast. In 2 weeks, he called me. "Doctor, the pain is down. I can't believe it. In a month, I can climb stairs again." Now, 6 months later, he walks without pain. He plays with his grandchildren. He drives without problems. And all because he eliminated those three inflammatory breakfasts and replaced them with something completely different. Today, I want you to hear his full story because I know many of you are eating exactly what he was eating. And you probably feel exactly what he was feeling. And after you hear him, I'm going to reveal what those three exact breakfasts are that spike inflammation. And most importantly, what to eat instead. If you're over 60 and you have joint pain, morning stiffness, or unexplained fatigue, stay with me because what you're about to discover in the next few minutes could be the missing piece. In fact, I have Mr. Tanaka waiting on the line. He's eager to tell you what he experienced. Let me call him.
Hello, Dr. Matsumoto. Good morning.
Good morning, Tanaka. Thank you for agreeing to speak with everyone today. There are many people who need to hear your story.
Of course, Doctor. Hello, everyone. My name is Tanaka. I'm 68 years old. And if you're listening to this because you have joint pain, because you feel stiff every morning, because you feel like your body isn't responding like it used to, believe me, I was exactly there. Let me tell you what my life was like 6 months ago. Every morning I woke up and the first thing I felt was pain. My knees, my hands, my lower back, everything stiff, everything aching. It took me about 20 minutes to be able to move properly. I had to sit on the bed, wait, stretch slowly. It was like my body needed to wake up before it could function. And during the day, it got worse. By mid-morning, I was already tired. By noon, my joints were killing me. Climbing stairs was torture. I had to hold onto the railing and go up step by step. But you know what frustrated me the most? That I was doing everything I'd been told to do. I was taking my arthritis medications. I went to physical therapy. I stopped eating red meat. I ate healthy, oatmeal for breakfast, salads, lots of fruit, and nothing improved. In fact, I felt like it was getting worse month after month. My wife was worried. My kids were worried. And me, I was starting to resign myself. I thought, well, I'm 68. This is life now. There was a park near my house where I used to walk. I stopped going because it hurt too much. I'd stopped playing with my grandchildren because I couldn't bend down, couldn't run. I was missing my own life. Then my wife dragged me literally to Dr. Matsumoto's office. I didn't want to go. I'd already seen about 5 doctors. They all told me the same thing. It's arthritis. It's degenerative. Here are more pills. But Dr. Matsumoto asked me a question that no other doctor had asked.
What did I ask you, Tanaka?
You asked me, what did you eat this morning before coming? And I thought, what does my breakfast have to do with my knees? But I answered, instant oatmeal with raisins and a little brown sugar, and a glass of orange juice. And you looked at me and said something I'll never forget. Tanaka, you just ate a sugar bomb. Your body is in inflammatory mode right now. I didn't understand. Oatmeal is healthy, right? That's what everyone says. Orange juice has vitamin C. I've been told to eat that. But the doctor explained to me, and this was a total shock, that for people like me, over 60, with inflammation problems, that breakfast was the worst thing I could eat. He explained that my body no longer processes sugar like it did when I was 30. That every time I eat those refined carbohydrates for breakfast, my blood sugar spikes. And when that happens, my body releases inflammatory chemicals to deal with it. And those chemicals go straight to my joints. That's why I woke up in pain. That's why it got worse during the day. The doctor told me, change your breakfast. Just that. For 2 weeks. And you'll see the difference. Honestly, I was skeptical. I thought, my breakfast? That's it. But I was desperate. So I tried it. The first few days were weird. I didn't feel much difference. But the doctor had told me, give it time. Your body needs to de-inflame. The second week, something changed. I woke up one morning and my knees didn't hurt as much. I could move more easily. I thought maybe it was a coincidence. But it kept improving, day after day. After a month, the pain had dropped by about 70%. I could climb stairs without holding the railing. I could bend down to pick things up off the floor. After 2 months, I went back to the park. I walked for 30 minutes without pain. And now, 6 months later, you're not going to believe this, but I played soccer with my grandson last week. Soccer, me, who 6 months ago couldn't even climb stairs. And all because I changed what I eat for breakfast. That was it. I didn't change my medications. I didn't do anything else different. I just stopped eating those 3 breakfasts the doctor is going to explain to you. And I started eating something completely different. If you're where I was in pain, stiff, feeling old before your time, please listen to what the doctor is going to teach you. Because I thought my life was going to be like that forever. Constant pain, limitations, resignation. But it doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be like that. And if I could change at 68, after years of pain, you can too. I promise you.
Thank you, Tanaka. Your story is exactly why I do this every day.
Thank you, doctor, for not giving up on me, for seeing what other doctors didn't see.
Tanaka's story is the story of millions of older adults, people who are doing everything right but still feeling bad. And the reason is simple. Nobody told them their body changed. Let me explain something crucial that most doctors don't tell you. After age 60, your body loses up to 40% of its ability to process carbohydrates quickly. 40%. That means the breakfast you ate at 30 without problems is now an inflammatory bomb. Every time you eat refined carbohydrates or sugars for breakfast, your blood sugar spikes higher and faster than when you were young, and your body panics. It releases massive amounts of insulin. It releases cortisol. It releases inflammatory cytokines. Those are chemicals that cause inflammation. And those chemicals go straight to your weak points. your joints, your brain, your arteries. That's why you wake up in pain. That's why you have stiffness. That's why the fatigue. That's why the brain fog. It's not your age. It's the inflammation caused by what you ate for breakfast. Now, let me reveal what those three inflammatory breakfasts are that millions of older adults eat every day. Inflammatory breakfast number one, instant oatmeal with sugar or dried fruit. Yes, oatmeal, the one everyone says is healthy. The problem isn't oatmeal itself. The problem is instant oatmeal. It's been processed, refined. It turns into sugar in your blood in less than 10 minutes. And when you add brown sugar, honey, raisins, dried cranberries, you're multiplying the problem. What happens in your body? Your blood sugar spikes. Your pancreas releases massive insulin. Your body goes into inflammatory mode. Your joints start to swell. And this lasts for hours. Inflammatory breakfast number two, toast, bagels, or cereals. It doesn't matter if it's whole wheat bread or white bread. If it's processed, it turns into sugar quickly. Bagels are even worse. They have the equivalent of 5 to 6 slices of bread in one. And cereals, even the ones that say healthy or high fiber, are loaded with hidden sugars. What happens in your body? Same problem. Sugar spike, inflammatory cascade. But also, these foods contain processed seed oils that are directly pro-inflammatory. It's like pouring gasoline on the fire. Inflammatory breakfast number three, fruit juices, commercial smoothies, or sweetened coffees. This is liquid sugar. It's the most dangerous of all. A glass of orange juice has as much sugar as 4 to 5 oranges, but without the fiber that slows absorption. Commercial smoothies are loaded with added sugars and high glycemic fruits, and those coffees with flavored creamers, they're basically desserts disguised as breakfast. What happens in your body? Liquid sugar is absorbed instantly. It's the fastest and highest sugar spike you can cause. The inflammatory response is brutal, and your body doesn't recover for hours. I know what you're thinking. But doctor, that's what I've eaten my whole life. My doctor told me to eat oatmeal. Commercials say juice is healthy. I know. I was taught that in medical school too. But science has advanced. Now we know better, especially for people over 60 with inflammation problems. The good news is there's a better way. An anti-inflammatory breakfast that stabilizes your sugar, reduces inflammation, and gives you real energy all day. The anti-inflammatory breakfast. Three essential components. Component 1, high-quality protein. Eggs, scrambled, boiled, however you like, they're perfect. Or plain Greek yogurt, or a handful of nuts. Why it works. Protein stabilizes your blood sugar. It doesn't cause spikes. It keeps your insulin under control, and it reduces the inflammatory response. Component 2, healthy fats, avocado, olive oil, nuts, seeds, smoked salmon. Why it works. Healthy fats don't trigger inflammation. They reduce it. They're natural anti-inflammatories, and you need them to absorb vitamins and keep your brain functioning well. Component 3, vegetables or low glycemic fruits, berries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, avocado, spinach, tomato. Avoid high sugar fruits like bananas, grapes, or pineapple for breakfast. Why it works. These foods have antioxidants that actively fight inflammation, and their fiber slows the absorption of any sugar. Let me give you a concrete example of what Tanaka eats every morning now. 2 scrambled eggs with spinach and tomato, half an avocado, a small handful of berries, green tea or black coffee, no sugar. That's it, simple, delicious. And his body responds completely differently. His blood sugar stays stable, no inflammatory spike, has energy for hours. His mind is clear, his joints don't hurt. The difference between feeling old and achy versus feeling strong and vital is in that first meal of the day. More serious tone. Look, chronic inflammation isn't something you should accept. It's not part of aging. It's your body's response to what you're eating, and you can control it. If you keep eating those inflammatory breakfasts, inflammation doesn't just continue, it gets worse. It leads to severe arthritis, to heart disease, to diabetes, to dementia. But if you make this change, if you eliminate those three breakfasts and replace them with the anti-inflammatory breakfast, you'll feel the difference in weeks, like Tanaka, like hundreds of my patients. The question isn't whether it works. You heard the story, you saw the results. The question is, are you going to try it? After 40 years as a doctor, I've learned that small changes in the morning create big changes in life. Your breakfast is the start of everything: your energy, your inflammation, how you feel all day. Choose wisely. Your body will thank you.